Everyone, and welcome to today's deep dive. We talk a lot about leadership on this show, but things are changing so fast these days. Like, even just thinking back a few years, remember when being the boss was mostly about like having the answers, giving orders? It feels like a different world now, right?
Totally. And that's exactly what we're going to dig into today, what leadership really means in 2024 and beyond.
And to help us navigate this new world, we're diving into this new report from Harvard Business Publishing. It's called Time to Transform.
Oh, yeah. I just got my hands on that one. It's dense.
It is, but that's why we're here. Over 1,100 leaders and learning and development pros were part of this global study, so we're talking serious insights, not just speculation.
Right from the jump, what grabbed me was this idea that it's not enough to be good at leadership anymore. Like, it's not just a skill set you kind of pick up as you go. It's a whole profession now.
Okay, now that's interesting because we hear that word profession, and our ears maybe perk up a little. But what does it actually mean in this context to treat leadership as this thing we have to constantly be leveling up in?
It's almost like, think about doctors, right? They don't just finish med school and that's it. They've got journals to read, conferences, to go to new techniques, to learn constantly. That's the level of commitment we're talking about for leadership in this new world.
It's not just about being the boss. It's about becoming a student of this constantly evolving thing.
I like it.
So how does this report lay out that path forward?
Well, they break it down into 4 core areas. They call them pillars. These are the things they found really determine if you're going to be riding the wave of change in the future or getting crushed by it.
All right, so let's dive into these pillars because I have a feeling they're about to get really interesting. What's the first one we're tackling? So we're diving into these 4 pillars of future-proof leadership. And first up, we've got widen your skill sets. And honestly, when I first saw that, I was like, oh, great, another laundry list of skills.
Yeah, it sounds kind of basic at first, right?
It does. But then you dig into what they're actually talking about and it gets way more interesting.
Exactly. Because this isn't just about like communication and delegation, the usual suspects. It's about developing what they call cross-functional expertise. So like skills that you might not typically associate with your specific role.
Oh, I like that. Give me an example. What does that look like in the real world?
They gave a really interesting example of a marketing director, and this marketing director had been doing things the same way for years. But they decided to dive into some data analytics, which is something you'd usually think of as an IT thing, right?
Right, not your typical marketing skill set.
Exactly. And by using data, this director was able to understand their customer base way better than ever before. They launched a hyper-targeted campaign and saw conversions jump by like 20%.
Wow, okay, so real tangible results from stepping outside their lane.
And it's not just data either. Like emotional intelligence, something you usually associate with HR, that's now a must-have for any leader who wants to create a positive and productive